All right, viewers, let's take you to what went down in Parliament. Number one, finally, after days of being washed up, the winter session was finally, we saw some work being done. Today was a debate on 75 years of the Constitution of India. Did our MPs rise to the occasion? That's the big question. It was also a day that Priyanka Gandhi made her maiden Lok Sabha speech. Rajnath Singh, on the floor of the Lok Sabha, tore into the Congress when it came down to the Indian Constitution.
आज उसी पार्टी के लोग संविधान का इस्तेमाल दुष्प्रचार के लिए कर रहे हैं। आज उसी पार्टी के लोग जात के आधार पर जनगणना कराना चाहते कराएं, हमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं, लेकिन मैं जानना चाहता हूं कि देश की जनता की आंखों में धूल झोंक कर राजनीति नहीं की जानी चाहिए। राजनीति करनी है तो जनता की आंखों में आंख डालकर राजनीति। आपको एक ब्लूप्रिंट लेकर आना चाहिए, एक मसौदा लेकर आना चाहिए, ऐसा मसौदा जिसमें कि यह पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट हो, जो जातिगत जनगणना कराएंगे किस जाति को आरक्षण का कितना प्रतिशत देंगे, इसका भी खुलासा होना चाहिए।
ये जाति जनगणना इसलिए जरूरी है ताकि हमें पता चले कि किसकी क्या स्थिति है और नीतियां उस हिसाब से बने। इनकी गंभीरता का प्रमाण ये है कि जब चुनाव में पूरे विपक्ष ने जोरदार आवाज उठाई कि ये जाति जनगणना होनी चाहिए, तो इनका जवाब देखिए। इनका जवाब भैंस भाग भैंस चुरा लेंगे, मंगलसूत्र चुरा लेंगे, इनका ये जवाब था। ये गंभीरता है इनकी जाति जनगणना पर।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, आज मैं देखता हूं कि विपक्ष के कई नेता संविधान की प्रति अपनी जेब में रखकर घूमते हैं। असल में उन्होंने बचपन से ही यही सीखा है। उन्होंने पीढ़ियों से अपने परिवार में संविधान को जेब में ही रखे दिया। लेकिन अध्यक्ष महोदय, भारतीय जनता पार्टी संविधान को सिर माथे पर लगाती है। हमारा कमिटमेंट संविधान के प्रति पूरी तरह से साफ है।
प्रधानमंत्री जी यहाँ सदन में संविधान की किताब को यूं माथे से लगाते हैं, लेकिन संभल में, हाथरस में, मणिपुर में जब न्याय की गुहार आती है, उठती है, तो उनके माथे पे शिकन तक नहीं आता। शायद समझ नहीं पाए हैं कि भारत का संविधान संघ का विधान नहीं है।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, आज संविधान की रक्षा करने की बात की जा रही है, यह हम सभी का कर्तव्य है। और अध्यक्ष महोदय, लेकिन हमें यह भी समझने की जरूरत है कि किसने संविधान का सम्मान किया है और किसने संविधान का अपमान किया है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, इसी संदर्भ में मैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पूर्व जस्टिस यशर खन्ना की आत्मकथा नाइदर रोजेज नॉर थॉर्न्स नामक किताब से एक पंक्ति उद्धृत करना चाहता हूं। जस्टिस यशर खन्ना ने एडीएम जबलपुर वर्सेस शिवकांत शुक्ला केस में तब की कांग्रेस सरकार के खिलाफ डिसेंटिंग जजमेंट दिया था। अध्यक्ष महोदय, जस्टिस खन्ना यह स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार नहीं थे कि किसी भी हालत में सरकार द्वारा किसी नागरिक से उसके जीने का हक और अदालत में न्याय मांगने का अधिकार यह छीन लिया गया। अध्यक्ष महोदय, यहां मैं एक महत्वपूर्ण बात जोड़ना चाहता हूं कि यह किसी व्यक्ति पर हमला नहीं था, यह सिर्फ किसी व्यक्ति विशेष के अधिकारों का हनन नहीं था, बल्कि यह संविधान पर हमला था। यह हमारे संविधान को सबवर्ट करने का एक महापाप था। अध्यक्ष महोदय, और मुझे हैरानी होती है कि आज इस कृत्य को अंजाम देने वाली पार्टी संविधान के संरक्षण की बात करती है।
आज जनता को सच बोलने से डराया जाता है, धमकाया जाता है। पत्रकार हो या विपक्ष का नेता हो या किसी यूनिवर्सिटी का प्रोफेसर हो, छात्र संघ हो या कर्मचारियों का संगठन हो, सबका मुंह बंद कराया जाता है। किसी पे ईडी, किसी पे सीबीआई, किसी पे इनकम टैक्स, फर्जी मुकदमे लगवाए जाते हैं, जेल में डाल दिया जाता है, विपक्षी नेताओं को जेल में डाल दिया जाता है, उनको सताया जाता है। मैं इस सदन को याद दिलाना चाहती हूं कि ऐसा डर का माहौल देश में अंग्रेजों के राज में था। जब इस तरफ बैठे हुए गांधी की विचारधारा वाले लोग आजादी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे और उस तरफ वाली विचारधारा वाले लोग भय में रहकर अंग्रेजों के साथ साठ-गांठ कर रहे थे। एक कहानी होती थी, अध्यक्ष महोदय, शायद बचपन में आपने भी सुनी होगी। राजा भेष बदलकर बाजार में आलोचना सुनने जाता था। ये सुनने जाता था कि प्रजा मेरे बारे में क्या कह रही है, मैं सही रास्ते पे चल रहा हूं कि नहीं। लेकिन आज का राजा, भेष तो बदलते हैं आज के राजा, शौक तो है उनको भेष बदलने का, लेकिन न जनता के बीच जाने की हिम्मत है और न आलोचना सुनने की।
अध्यक्ष महोदय, पिछले कुछ वर्षों में देश में एक ऐसा माहौल बनाने का प्रयास किया गया है कि संविधान एक पार्टी की विशेष देन है। इन सभी बातों में डेप्थ एंड ब्रेथ मैं मानता हूं कि दोनों की कमी है। अध्यक्ष महोदय, संविधान निर्माण में बहुत से लोगों की भूमिका को जानबूझकर नकार दिया गया है। हमें याद रखना चाहिए कि पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय, लाला लाजपत राय, सरदार भगत सिंह, वीर सावरकर और ऐसे कई महापुरुषों के विचारों ने हमारे संविधान की भावना को मजबूत और समृद्ध किया है।
जिसका नाम लेने से कभी कभी आप झिझकते हैं और कभी कभी उनका नाम धड़ाधड़ इस्तेमाल किया जाता है अपने आप को बचाने के लिए। उन्होंने HAL, BHEL, SAIL, GAIL, ONGC, NTPC, रेलवेज, IIT, IIM, ऑयल रिफाइनरीज, तमाम PSU बनाए। अध्यक्ष महोदय, उनका नाम पुस्तकों से मिटाया जा सकता है, उनका नाम भाषणों से मिटाया जा सकता है, लेकिन जो उनकी भूमिका रही इस देश की आजादी के लिए और इस देश के निर्माण के लिए, वो इस देश से कभी मिटाया नहीं जा सकता।
All right, viewers, you heard that face-off. Rajnath Singh at one end and Priyanka Gandhi on the other. The big questions that we're reading, and also reminding you, the floor of the Parliament have seen some debates that have gone down in the annals of Indian parliamentary history. They give you goosebumps even today. Did we see a bit of that when India marked 75 days of the Indian Constitution? Well, that's what we're going to debate. Also, was Priyanka Gandhi's speech a hit or a miss? And the debate on Samvidhan Constitution, who won the day when it comes down to it. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me is Rajnath Singh, political analyst, Rashid Kidwai, political analyst, Sanju Verma, BJP national spokesperson, Praniti Shinde, Congress spokesperson. Rajnath Singh, let me begin with you and Rashid Kidwai before we go to our political spokespersons. What did you make of it? 75 years of the Indian Constitution, befitting tribute. Did we have scintillating speeches? What worked for you?
Sorry, my network is a little weird. Can you give me a minute?
Sure. You know, Rajat, you fix your network. Let's get in Rashid Kidwai. Rashid Kidwai, maiden speech of Priyanka Gandhi. Very, comparisons will be made when it comes down to Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi. Very different. Better command on her language. How would you rate that speech? For someone who's followed the Gandhis for years.
I often say, comparison is a thief of joy. We should not compare, individuals and human beings, particularly when they're brothers and sisters, and they are like on a, similar age group, etc. I think Rahul Gandhi has his own sort of.
Rashid Kidwai, we shouldn't compare brothers and sisters, but that's the harsh reality of politics. The brother and the sister have entered politics, and now it's open season. Both of them are in the Lok Sabha. They are bound to be comparisons, Rashid.
Yeah. No. Comparisons are bound to be there, Preeti. But what I'm saying is Priyanka Gandhi is, when it comes to articulation or oratory skills, of course, she scores over Rahul Gandhi. In fact, if you look at the manner in which she, spoke, it was very measured. It was nothing, extraordinary. But fact of the matter, considering it was her debut speech in Lok Sabha, and Preeti, I have covered and I've seen a lot of, new parliamentarians, first-timers, including those who belong to Nehru Gandhi family. I think she scores over everyone else. But generally, I mean, it's not that I'm sounding very old, but generally the standard of debate could have been, higher, in the sense where, if it was a very important discussion on the practice of, constitution, nobody mentioned about, what are the elements of social contract theory that was advanced by Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, and how, the government and, citizenry have equal sort of, share and responsibility, the kind of governance we have. There are a lot of hits and misses, you can go on. So it slanging, match. The Congress obviously tried to pin down the government, saying that the constitution is not being followed. And again, if you talk about India, it's always say, whatever you say about India, the opposite is true. There is, of course, you cannot deny there is Manipur, there is Sambal, there are a lot of, while there are a lot of injustice that happens, but also we have a lot of, great stories, success stories of how, our sort of marginalized communities have come up in a very big way. So therefore, I mean, Praniti would vouch her own, father, life of Mr. Sushil Kumar Shinde is an extraordinary story, for our nation, the kind of background that he came up with. So all kind of things are there. I think to sum up, it's a good day, perhaps not a great day, a very good day for Indian Parliament, that both opposition and government, they started talking. And we had some business in Lok Sabha. And perhaps when Mr. Modi, speaks, then perhaps we'll be able to evaluate who was better and who was best.
Well, a good day, but befitting 75 years of the Indian Constitution, not quite. The level of discourse still quite low. But, many of us will take it, because what we've seen in the recent past, especially where the winter session has come, viewers, is a complete washout. And a complete washout of your and my money. Once again, we keep reiterating, every minute that we lose in Parliament where business is not conducted, the taxpayer, which is you and I, lose 2.5 lakh rupees. So in that sense, great. We at least saw some discussion, some debate. Was it to the level that we were expecting, befitting 75 years of the Indian Constitution? Not quite. Rajat Sethi, if we have you back, what worked for you today on the floor of the House? It practically became a Rajnath Singh versus Priyanka Gandhi.
So, I was hearing Rashid ji also speak. The moment was, was truly historic. There were several doubts whether our republic would survive these many years. And contrary to a lot of naysayers around the world, we have a thriving democracy today. And Rajnath ji gave a rousing speech. And so did Priyanka Gandhi to some part of her speech was also good. It was largely neutral. But, the problem is the opposition will have to don its opposition hats whenever time comes. And Priyanka Gandhi made her maiden speech and tried to put some pot shots out there on the name of the first Prime Minister Nehru. I don't believe anybody in BJP is trying to wipe out the name. BJP is certainly trying to say that, yes, there was an epochal era of Nehru, which is over. We have completely entered into a next epochal era, which belongs to Prime Minister Modi. The thought process of the country has changed. The aspirations of the country has changed. And Congress needs to find itself in tune with these changing times. That reflection wasn't there. 75-year journey has been a long journey. We have learned a lot through these 75 years. But how does Congress party, which has been there even before independence, how does it want to reinvent itself, truly, genuinely stand for the values enshrined in our constitution? Those things which should not have been too partisan in nature would have given her a more sort of a thumping presence, given that this was her maiden speech. That was missing. It was business as usual, politics as usual.
Okay. All right, business as usual, politics as usual. Praniti Shinde, getting you into this debate, you had a very pointed attack which came in from the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. And, that's a grave allegation for a political party which holds the Constitution above all. Today you are charged with, number one, politicizing the Constitution, and number two, Praniti Shinde, today you are charged by trying to create a narrative, trying to build a perception that it is only you and you alone who are the custodians of the Constitution?
Well, at the outset, I would like to say that it has taken the India Alliance a lot to even get this debate to happen on the floor of the House. They were dilly-dallying. They didn't want a debate on Constitution. They didn't want the House to work. The winter session has been a total washout because the BJP did not want it to function. And we had to insist in the BACs many a times that we want this debate on the Constitution to happen. They did not want a discussion on Adani or anything, and which is why every time we sat down, we wanted the question hour to happen. The speaker would abruptly, for no reason, just say that the house is adjourned for the entire day and let's start. So at the outset, it's taken us a lot to get a debate for the 75 glorious years of Constitution on the floor of the House. Secondly, the quality of speeches today, I must congratulate I was there in the House from 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock. The quality of debates in the House today, in the Parliament, were exceptional. And unfortunately for the BJP, Priyanka Gandhi stole the show. Apparently, of course, if you look at the views, the reels today, it's all about Priyanka Gandhi. Unfortunately, nobody's talking about Rajnath Singh at this hour. In her speech, one could sense the emotion. She understands the pulse of the people because whether it's Rahul Gandhi, whether it's Priyanka Gandhi, whenever there are atrocities committed by this government, whether it's Manipur, whether it's Hathras, whether it's Unnao, they understand the issue, they express solidarity, they are there with the victims. And therefore, when you realize that when Priyanka Gandhi ji started talking, everybody got emotional. She hit a note, she hit the right notes, she said the right things, and it was a super hit. And she spoke the right things. And the BJP has no right to talk about the Constitution. They never believed in it.
Okay, Praniti, you're from the Congress party. You're, allowed to have the opinion that you do, but allow the speech to to let the people actually hear it, to decide whether it was a super hit or maybe not so good. That's for the people to decide, and we leave the jury to the people there. But, Sanju Verma, I want to get you in, because what the BJP was clearly charged with today in Priyanka Gandhi's maiden speech, and she hit home where she spoke of the Prime Minister and said that the Prime Minister honors the Constitution, touches it to his forehead, but there is constitutional hypocrisy on the issues of Sambhal, on the issues of Manipur, on the issues of Hathras.
Okay. Preeti, let me get down straight to the point. Priyanka Vadra's speech, that reminded me of Hindi ki popular kahawat, Khisyani billi khamba noche. Angur khatte hain. 3 Lok Sabha elections lost consecutively in a row, and the Gandhi siblings still come to the parliament and say Modi ji ne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya. Kabhi ye nahi batate hain ki Congress ne atmachintan kyun nahi kiya. But I will quickly, give you some hard facts for the benefit, especially of your audience. Constitution, Samvidhan khatre mein hai, is the narrative that the Congress has been peddling, and this is what Priyanka Vadra tried doing and failed miserably on the floor of the parliament today. Let's not forget, it was in 1951 that Priyanka Vadra's great-grandfather Nehru carried out the first amendment curbing freedom of speech and free expression. It was Priyanka Gandhi's grandmother who imposed the emergency in 1975. Samvidhan ki dhajjiyan udate hue, 10 million people had FIRs filed against them, and 11 million forced sterilizations were carried out. This is the same Priyanka Vadra who needs to know that her great-grandfather Nehru arrested Majru Sultanpuri simply because Sultanpuri chose to write a poem mildly criticizing Nehru. This is the same Priyanka Vadra who needs to know that the 42nd Amendment carried out by Indira Gandhi in 1976 curbed the power of judicial review of the courts. This is the same Priyanka Vadra who needs to know that be it Karunanidhi, J. Jayalalitha, or even Lalu Yadav for that matter, Madhu Koda, Om Prakash Chautala, these people were arrested when the Congress was in power in the center. And Priyanka Vadra also needs to know that when an incident happens in Sambhal or when an incident happens in Hathras, she says, Ladki hu, lad sakti hu, she's ready to break police barricades. Till today, Priyanka Vadra has not spoken out against the gang rapes in Sandesh Khali. But Priyanka Vadra ke muh mein फेविकॉल लग जाता है. When Neha Hiremat, a young Congress councillor's daughter, was brutally stabbed in broad daylight in Congress-ruled Karnataka, Priyanka Vadra did not have the decency to even shed crocodile tears. And my last point, Preeti, is this. They keep saying that the judiciary has been bought out by the Modi government. Let me tell them, from V.R. Krishna Iyer to Justice Ranganath Mishra, to Abhay Thipse, to Baharul Islam, to Hasnain Masoodi, to Aftab Alam, these were all people who were actually promoted to the Rajya Sabha or given tickets to fight elections, and they were all sitting judges of various high courts. And my final point,
I want to bring in...
bear with me. My final point. You guys keep condemning
10 seconds,
the election commissioner. Please, just 10 seconds. You know, when I say you guys, I mean the Congress cabal. You keep condemning the election commissioner. You condemn Rajiv Kumar. But I just want to leave your audience with one thought. There was a man called T.N. Seshan. He was the cabinet secretary under Rajiv Gandhi. He was the defense secretary under Rajiv Gandhi. He halted elections for 3 whole weeks after Rajiv Gandhi died so that Congress could gain sympathy.
All right, I want to go in.
These people have
I want to get in Rashid Kidwai back into this conversation. I believe we've lost Rajat Sethi. But Rashid Kidwai, you know, critics and political analysts will argue that the Congress is seemingly fixated on its past achievement, where they keep harping on, you know, Nehru's contribution rather than addressing the present issues. Now, how do you balance the entire historical narrative, Rashid, when the Congress takes to the floor, especially on Samvidhan, with the current political context?
Yeah, so I think, Preeti, there are both sides have a, you know, sort of a lot of argument. Look at the Congress track. It, of course, it did a lot in terms of, you know, paving the way for post freedom struggle, the first Nehru government, the kind of, you know, constituent assembly that was there. And a lot of it was, you know, how it was incorporated. Some constitutional amendments were called for, some were uncalled for. Anybody who would have, you know, Preeti, decades of, you know, in governance, obviously some actions would come under scrutiny, under criticism. There is no point in, you know, the Congress or anybody who speaks on their behalf of being defensive about emergency. The emergency provisions were there and still are there in Constitution. It was the misuse of those provisions that became controversial, and that was seen as a blot. The BJP has a lot to learn from it rather than just go on criticizing. So I think if we speak from a partisan position, it's not going to serve any purpose. Thing is, Constitution is not something that, you know, it's a book that you keep it on the shelf.
Fair point.
It needs to be practiced every day.
Okay.
All
I want to take in final comments. Okay.
Can I quickly come in? Because there was a comment against BJP. Can I quickly come in?
No, Sanju Verma, 1 second. Praniti, 1 second. No, madam, no. I'm going to go one by one. Each of you will get equal time. I want to bring in Rajat Sethi into this conversation. Rajat, the BJP, how does the BJP avoid now on the charges it makes on the Congress of politicizing the Constitution? Because if you look at it, it cuts both ways then.
Sorry. What I was saying is all politics cut both ways. I mean, this is why, you know, you have such important milestones when the parties and the party spokespersons should rise up and look at the bigger picture. Congress has been talking about, you know, these lofty ideals of the Constitution, but every single constitutional institution that is there every day is getting a beating from the Congress party. Today, you need to ensure, you know, pick a leaf from BJP's book when BJP has been in the opposition for a fairly long time. They were not out there attacking every single institution by the day. Instead, they started, you know, occupying a different position where they started calling we are a party with a difference. We will capture the moral plank and we'll keep exposing the Congress party. And that's how they built their goodwill over the years, working hard towards it. And Constitution cannot be berated. Now, today, Priyanka Gandhi ji wants to stand up and today and talk about these lofty ideals when she's not even addressing the elephant in the room, which remains emergency. She has to talk about emergency before she can give yarn on Constitution. Period.
All right. Praniti Shinde, that's a fair point. You know, Praniti Shinde, that is a fair point because Priyanka Gandhi did touch on emergency where she spoke of take lessons from that. आप सीखिए. अगर आप emergency की बात करते हैं तो आप उस पे सीखिए. Where she spoke of it. But Praniti Shinde, the BJP will go back into the past, because that's the art of politics, because it doesn't only remind you of the emergency period, it also reminded you constantly on the maximum number of constitutional amendments that have been made is by your own political outfit, the Congress.
You know, every time somebody from the BJP gets up, whether it's a debate on the constitution or not, they talk about the emergency. They talk about Mrs. Indira Gandhi. They talk about the emergency. Let me tell you, Indira Gandhi ji apologized for the emergency. She realized what she had done and she apologized. What is the Prime Minister doing? He's not even apologizing for Manipur. Forget apologizing. He's not even going to Manipur. He's not even going to Sambhal. He comes to Parliament only for 10 minutes. And this is an undeclared emergency. Let's address that, Mr. Rajat. This is the elephant in the room, the undeclared emergency. The ED, the CBI, the income tax, all these agencies are working solely for the government in an undeclared emergency. Why does the BJP fail to see this? And let's not forget, they lagao the naira of 400 par only because the BJP MP went on record saying we want 400 par because we want to change the constitution. This is a party that does not believe in the Tiranga, that does not believe in the constitution. The RSS has gone on record saying that it denies the constitution, it denies the sacrifices by the founding fathers and the mothers of the constitution.
Okay.
So what are we talking about? And the amendments that were done to the constitution were because of with technology, with new age, you have to make
Preeti, can I come in, please?
What were the amendments that were made? That we want to make India a secular country. That was the amendment that was made. BJP does not accept secularism. So let them not talk about, their big ideas. So
this is not fair. You said everybody will get equal time. She can't keep giving a monologue.
Ma'am, I'm coming. I'll give you equal time. Don't. Yes, you will. No, you will get equal time. Praniti, Shinde, make your point. 10 seconds.
So this is my point is that the BJP talks about the emergency, but let them address the undeclared emergency. For BJP, they've been told that whenever you talk, what happened, 1 second, my last line, what happened in the parliament today with Kiren Rijiju, he's the parliamentary affairs minister, used absolute unparliamentary language against a member of parliament and said that we will take action. They cannot take it. They cannot take a slight offensive from the India Alliance. The parliamentary affairs minister going on, isn't that unconstitutional? And that's when we happen a rotation of...
This is unfair. This is a monologue by the Congress. You're being unfair, Preeti.
All right. Ma'am, you'll get equal time. I don't understand. Why must we talk about the other person? You'll get equal time. All right. Praniti Shinde, as I go in to get a closing comment from Sanju Verma, I just want to remind you, you said all constitutional amendments that were made by the Congress party were made for the good of the country. I want to take you through some of them. Constitution 30th Amendment barred judicial review of the emergency. Constitution 39th Amendment, which was meant solely to preempt the Supreme Court. I can go on. Constitution 40 Amendment, which placed an anti-media law on the 9th schedule to bar judicial review. So let's not play that game that we were all, fair when we were in governance, and now it's all going wrong. So, just to contradict you on that, but Sanju Verma, to bring you in, and Praniti Shinde has a very fair point, Sanju Verma. You can't keep living in the past, because right now we are in a state of undeclared emergency as per the Congress. Go ahead, Ms. Verma.
Preeti, first and foremost, this is a debate. I have been extremely patient. All I said, Preeti, can I also come in? You can't allow a monologue. You are so rude. Sanju Verma, I'm coming to you. I've never seen you behaving so rudely with the Congress people. You are an anchor. You can show a little more maturity, Preeti. Thank you so much. Please don't get so jumpy when the BJP interrupts you. Now, let me make some very important points, Preeti. First and foremost, who used Article 356 107 times to dismiss duly elected state governments? The answer is Congress party. Who amended the constitution unilaterally 88 times? The answer is Congress party. Which is the Prime Minister who summarily dismissed 49 state governments unilaterally? The answer is Indira Gandhi. Who brought in ordinances 597 times? That is more than 11 ordinances every single year without taking into account feedback from the opposition. The answer is the Congress party. Who dismissed 9 state governments with a single stroke of pen at the the stroke of midnight? The answer is Indira Gandhi, who is out on bail in the National Herald scam thanks to the Supreme Court, not the Modi government. It is Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, who is out on bail in the INX media scam, not due to Narendra Modi, but the Supreme Court, P. Chidambaram, who is out on bail in the Rajasthan recruitment board scam, Vaibhav Gehlot, son of former Congress CM Ashok Gehlot, not due to Narendra Modi. And I also want to educate Praniti Shinde. She is the member of parliament from Satara. This is what she should know. The airport inauguration for Satara was done in 1948.
Okay, let's go one by one, ma'am. Allow her to speak. Allow her to speak. Can I just get Sanju Verma for 20 seconds and then we're going to end this debate? Can I just get Sanju Verma equal time? Go ahead, Sanju Verma, you get your last 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Thank you. Praniti Shinde has the audacity to lecture Narendra Modi. She is the member of parliament from Satara. An airport was inaugurated in Satara in 1948. It is more than 76 years. Thanks to Narendra Modi, the first Mumbai-Satara flight will happen in the end of December 2024. So
Sanju Verma, your 20 seconds is over and I'm going to close this debate. And I would like to, because you asked me a question, you said, why do I get jumpy when the Congress person is being interrupted? Because, madam, I'm the moderator and I have every right to get jumpy if my debate is being talked over on. And that's where it's limited to. You like data? Let me give you data because, you know, this is the second time you've done it. You spoke 35 seconds more than Praniti, but I'm going to leave it at that because it's a democracy.